Alright, and we're going to do a worksheet called Picasso's Gourd. You would have hopefully downloaded the instruction sheet already, and you'll need another blank piece of copier paper. That's what we're actually going to do the drawing on. Alright, purpose of this drawing is to, one, learn to follow instructions, one, to measure accurately, and hopefully we'll see how well that all goes. Alright, so you will need a ruler. The ruler needs to have inches on one side. You would have probably 12 inches because you'd have a full ruler, and it would have centimeters on the other side. All right, the little lines in between these would be the millimeters. Okay, so first thing, your blank piece of paper, it says turn your paper so that it is taller than it is wide. So in other words, it needs to look, whoops, let me undo that, hang on. All right, it needs to be turned so that it is upright or portrait, so it's taller than it is wide. Make sure you do that first. If you do it the other way, it may go off the page. Okay. Then it says from the bottom left-hand corner, which would be down here, we are going to measure 8 centimeters from the edge. Okay. Now on my ruler, it has it in millimeters, so it says 80 because 8 centimeters would be 80 millimeters, but this would be like 1 centimeter, 2 centimeters, 3 centimeters, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. And that's just the way my ruler does it. But so we're going to measure from that, and 8 centimeters away, we are going to put a dot. All right. Okay. Now that should be at the bottom of your page. All right. Now from that, we're going to measure up 3 centimeters. All right. All right. Now I got my ruler turned around. I'm still learning how to work with mine, so you'll have to give me a little slack there. Okay. So we're going to go up 3 centimeters. All right, and we're going to put another dot. So far on your paper, you should have 2 dots. All right. Okay. Now, so we have 2 dots on our paper. Now, from this point, we are going to start drawing a line. Okay, we'll put a dot, but then we'll also connect it with a line using our ruler. Okay. So our next instruction says to go 5 centimeters northwest. Now the question is, how are we going to do that and make sure we really go northwest? Okay, this is where you're going to use the compass rose that is on your instruction sheet. You're going to take your blank sheet of paper and you're going to set it on top of your compass, the drawing of the compass rose, so that that second dot that we drew is right in the middle of the compass rose. Now I have to move my compass rose, but you're going to put your blank piece of notebook paper or copy paper over that, and you want that dot right there, the second dot, to be right in the middle of your compass rose. Okay. Now this says we're going to measure 5 centimeters northwest. Okay, so turn my ruler the right angle here. All right, you're going to put your ruler starting at that dot, and you want to go 5 centimeters. So you're going to put a dot right at 5 centimeters, and then you're going to draw a line. Use your ruler, of course, to make a straight line down to the dot down here. Okay, and if you were to move this out of the way, it will look something like that. Okay? All right, so you get your first line there. Okay? Now the next thing we want to do is we're going to move our piece of paper so that the end of the line we just drew is right in the middle of the compass rose. Notice the line we just drew should line up with one of the other lines, in this case the southeast line. Okay? Now it says we want to go 5 centimeters north. Okay, so we're going to have to move my ruler here. All right, and it says we need to go north, so we're going to measure 5 centimeters. All right, which would be about right on that line. We want to be as exact as possible, and then we're going to draw a line going all the way down to meet this one. Okay. And if you move that off to the side, hopefully you will have something that looks like this. All right, kind of looks like the beginning of a stop sign, and that's a good sign. You're in the right direction. All right. Now the other thing is, as you go along, you need to go up here and cross off the ones you've done, or you may just want to put a check on them in case you need to go back and redo something, you think something's wrong. Okay? Um, so, then we're ready to do number 4, which would be 5 centimeters northeast. All right, what are we going to do? Just like before, you always take the end of the line you just drew, which is right there, and you're going to put it in the middle of your compass rose. The line you just drew should line up with one of the lines, in this case the south. And now we're going to go northeast, okay? And so you would have to move your ruler. All right, and then you're going to measure. Let me get over here. Okay, I'm going to measure 5 centimeters along that line. All right, so I'm going to click right there, and I'm going to go down here to the line again. All right, and just to see what that looks like real quick, it should look like, let me get that out of the way also so we can see. Oops, I messed up my line a little bit because I did not actually line it up correctly. My bad. Kind of hard to see it on mine, but anyhow, you should be just like that. Whoops. If it'll stay there. No, it's not going to. Okay, but yours should be touching. I had difficulty seeing where mine started there, but it should look like that. Look something like I said, like a stop sign going on. All right, and then cross off number 4 or check it off, whichever, something to keep track of where you're at. And then you will continue to do that for the rest of the worksheet. Now, when you do it, theoretically, none of your lines should cross. Okay, you shouldn't cross another line, nor should you go off the page. So if that happens, you may want to check and see if there's some type of error there. All right, the last thing before I go, if you look at number 7 and number 8, you'll notice they are measured in millimeters, and those will be these little lines. So if, for example, if you had 8 millimeters, that would be, let me move this where you can see it a little bit better. 8 millimeters. Okay, so you would count these little lines. That bigger one right there would be 5, 6, 7, 8, and you would put a dot right there at the 8th, okay, or 7th or whatever. If it's more than, say it was 15, that would be 1, and then 5 more little dots, so that would be 15 right there. 27 would be 2 centimeters, and then 5, 6, 7, so 27, okay. So that's, make sure if it is millimeters. You notice the millimeters on number 7 and number 8 are in bold print and underlined. So make sure when you do the millimeters that you catch that. Otherwise, you'll have a way too big a long line. If it's 7 millimeters, that's from here to here, and 7 centimeters from here all the way up to here. So you want to make sure when you get those underlined ones, you might want to put little stars by them. Make sure that you do those in millimeters. All right. Good luck. If you better you do, the more of a picture you will have. If you mess up, you may have a little more modern art or abstract art, but you can do it. Please let me know if you have any problems or questions, and good luck.